Welcome to FOX54 News at 6. I'm Gabe Glassman. Two National Guard soldiers are in critical condition after they were shot while patrolling a few blocks from the White House earlier today. The Metropolitan Police Department says the guards were on patrol when they were shot by the suspect, who was then shot by other Guard members nearby and taken into custody in critical condition. MPD believes the shooting was isolated. President Trump was in Florida at the time of the shooting, and Vice President J.D. Vance was at Fort Campbell in Kentucky. Here's what he had to say.
As a person who goes into work every single day in that building and knows that there are a lot of people who wear the uniform of the United States Army, let me just say very personally, thank them for what they're doing. We're grateful to them.
The governor of West Virginia initially said the Guard members were killed, but has since retracted that statement. According to Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, President Trump has requested 500 additional National Guard troops to be sent to D.C. We'll have more information for you as it becomes available. Representative Dale Strong shared his reaction to the shooting on X, saying, quote, "My prayers are with the guardsmen who were shot in Washington, D.C. today, their families and their fellow service members. We owe our National Guard our full support as we await more information and ensure those responsible are held fully accountable. Violence against the men and women who serve our nation is unacceptable." All right, switching things back locally. This was weather outside our Fox 54 studios earlier this afternoon. Not a cloud in the sky, complete 180 to yesterday, clear as day. Let's bring in Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, will temperatures rise for Turkey Day?
Yeah, I wish. Unfortunately, temperatures are only going to continue to fall off as we head into your Thanksgiving. We're cool this evening, much cooler right now than we were this time 24 hours ago. Think back to 6 o'clock p.m. yesterday. We were talking about temperatures in the low 60s across the area. Now we're talking about temperatures in the mid and upper 40s. Under that really nice clear sky Gabe was just showing us from earlier this afternoon. We're maintaining that this evening. Temperatures are falling off quickly here just after sunset. 47 degrees right now, Pulaski and Fayetteville, 47 right now in Coleman, 49 in Albertville, 46 in Fort Payne, 46 in Florence. We're sitting at 47 degrees at the Huntsville International Airport. Temperatures are only going to continue to slide as we head into the overnight. When it's all said and done, I think we're going to fall off into the lower 30s, right around 33 degrees. If you're going to get up and outside early tomorrow morning, got to get that turkey on the smoker. That's what I'll be doing. Grab a sweatshirt, 34 degrees at 7. We do begin to climb into the mid and upper 40s, but that's all the warmer we're going to get tomorrow afternoon. We're going to be just as cold for Black Friday, but what about the Iron Bowl? We'll talk about all these things in great detail here in a little bit.
A woman is behind bars on charges of attempted murder. Here's what we know so far. The Coleman Police Department arrested Sarah Baker yesterday for conspiracy to commit murder and distribution of a controlled substance, among other charges. Baker was taken to the Coleman County Detention Center. CBD tells Fox 54 Baker is being held on a $250,000 property bond. The investigation is still ongoing. We'll have more information for you once it becomes available. We're learning Priceville's assistant police chief has filed a discrimination complaint with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Jason Wilbanks filed the complaint against the city of Priceville after the city council appointed Jason Wigginton as the city's new police chief earlier this month. The filing alleges discrimination based on age and retaliation. Wilbanks claims he was passed over despite having superior qualifications and experience. We spoke to Wilbanks' attorney about the allegations, and we'll hear from him tonight on Fox 54 News at 9. A Morgan County internet provider is offering a reward after another act of vandalism. On November 16th, a utility pole carrying flash fiber cables was cut down with a chainsaw along East Upper River Road near the Cotico Creek Canoe Launch. This is at least the third attack targeting flash fiber this year. The company says these deliberate acts put crews, first responders, and the public at serious risk. Flash Fiber is now offering a $2,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. And if you know anything, you can contact the Morgan County Sheriff's Department or call the number on your screen, 256-552-2300. Morgan County Courthouse visitors will need to use a different entrance starting next week. The Lee Street South entrance closes next Tuesday for several months due to ongoing renovations, but the King Street North entrance will reopen. That takes place one day earlier on Monday, December 1st. Visitors should park on the north and west side of the building. Those lots have 142 parking spaces, including 6 handicap spots. The north entrance takes you to the second floor where you'll go through security. Renovations to the HVAC system, electrical, flooring, and restrooms will continue into next year. Thanksgiving is about sharing a meal, and today, hundreds in Huntsville got that chance. The Downtown Rescue Mission, or DRM, is making sure no one goes without a warm holiday meal with a holiday banquet earlier today. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell was at that banquet and has more.
Thanksgiving is a time for gratitude, but for many, it can be a difficult day. Downtown Rescue Mission always has its doors open, but today was special as it was their Thanksgiving banquet. Staff and volunteers have been preparing since early this morning for the feast. Volunteers work together with the common goal of providing the experience of a traditional Thanksgiving celebration. People experiencing homelessness or simply community members who cannot prepare a meal on their own enjoyed a warm Thanksgiving meal together regardless of circumstance.
This is one of the things that we want to have, is to be able to celebrate what God has done for us. And it's really a celebration of that and the Thanksgiving that the folks, even those who are homeless, have because they have a place to stay and meal to keep themselves nourished.
People came in and sat down at tables throughout the dining hall. Volunteers then took their food, drink, and dessert orders and served them right at the table. Downtown Rescue Mission made sure that everyone was catered to and got exactly what they needed. In Huntsville, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
DRM will have another Thanksgiving meal tomorrow at their location on Evangel Drive. Overholt says he anticipates they will serve around 2,000 people over the next 2 days. We'll have more from today's event on Fox 54 News at 9. People in parts of central Alabama are coping with the aftermath of a powerful storm yesterday. Take a look at this. Heavy rain and winds toppled trees and power lines, with some trees smashing into homes, forcing first responders to rescue people who became trapped. Many residents are still without power, and while workers look to clear the rubble, churches in the area are among those stepping up to help.
When we have the availability to help someone, we believe we should be able to do that and show the love of Christ, but also just as a neighbor in the community. When a neighbor needs help, you should absolutely just, even if it does seem like an interruption in your schedule, it really isn't, because people matter most.
Repair crews are working to get the lights back on, while workers clear roads full of debris. Ahead of the Iron Bowl, veterans from the University of Alabama and Auburn began marching to raise awareness for veteran suicide prevention. Since 2018, student veterans at both universities have hosted their annual Operation Iron Ruck March, wearing 22 blank dog tags and 22 rucksacks to symbolize the 22 veterans who take their lives on a daily basis. The march also helped bring together many who served.
But it's also for everybody that does this ruck, building a family for them. We put the rivalry aside for the week leading up to it. Everybody becomes one giant family, and then we get to Auburn and talk a little trash.
The march takes place over 4 days, covering the 151 miles between Auburn and Tuscaloosa. Drones have become a critical part of law enforcement in Alabama. Today, Fox 54 sat down with Alabama State Representative James Lomax, who helped create a commission focused on drones in law enforcement. Lomax tells Fox 54 that while he wants to see law enforcement embrace drones, he wants to make sure they aren't abused.
That's why we're being very deliberate on this commission and making sure that we're looking at this and the best actionable way to take so that it doesn't mess with people's security of their information or their privacy. It's not something to where we're taking a bunch of action and just seeing what happens afterwards. I mean, that's been the interesting part of seeing how government can work when it's working best, which is really understanding an issue, understanding it with experts from both sides, pro and con, and then trying to make a best determination that helps move the state of Alabama forward.
Fox 54 will have more tonight from our interview with Representative Lomax at 9.
Some of the biggest offenders are improper thawing of your turkey.
One of the top would be the use of food thermometers.
These are some of the tips to keep your food safe during Thanksgiving dinner. We'll tell you more this Wellness Wednesday. And this Thanksgiving, people aren't the only thing looking forward to Thanksgiving dinner. How you can keep your home safe from pests, coming up.
Now, Wellness Wednesday on Fox 54 News, sponsored by Regenesis.
Well, Turkey Day is just hours away, and many people are starting to prepare to cook their meals for tomorrow. But that doesn't mean you should cut corners when it comes to food safety. We'll learn more this Wellness Wednesday.
Some of the biggest offenders are improper thawing of your turkey.
One of the top would be the use of food thermometers.
Leaving their food out too long.
Fox 54 spoke with 3 food safety specialists to learn some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to cooking your food this holiday season. And according to Dr. Tracy Brigman with the University of Georgia, one big don't is not letting the turkey reach the correct temperature to avoid food poisoning.
You want to get to an internal temperature of 165 degrees. So a food thermometer is your best friend. Obviously using the thermometer correctly and putting it in the thickest part of the turkey to make sure it's completely done and reaches that internal temperature.
But it's not just about cooking. Dr. Ametra Jackson Davis at Alabama A&M tells us what happens during preparation is also important to take into consideration.
Washing is extremely important. First of all, washing your hands often during the cooking process. Of course, 20 seconds is what is recommended with warm soap and water. And also ensuring that you're washing those utensils that are being used, your forks, your cutting boards. Very, very important. And also as it relates to that, that brings me to my next point about cross-contamination. Being sure that you keep raw products separate from those products that will not be cooked before they are consumed.
And when it comes to those with food allergies, Susan Hill with Serve Safe Alabama says it's important to be mindful.
Make sure that you have that allergen separate away from all the other foods, because you may have one that's allergic to eggs. You may have someone that's allergic to sesame. It could be milk. Make sure that those foods are separate and tagged where that person that does have that allergy can enjoy their meal just as well as anybody else can, to not have any other reaction.
And with the Thanksgiving meal, there's also leftovers, but that doesn't mean you need to keep leftovers around as long as possible.
Usually 3 to 4 days. After that, you really want to throw it away unless you are going to freeze it. So of course, if you freeze it, it will last longer in the freezer. But at refrigeration temperatures, you don't want to be eating that food a week out.
And right here on Fox 54 Plus, you can check out From the Experts, which includes full interviews and more tips on the best ways to safely store those Thanksgiving leftovers. And there are a lot of things to do tomorrow, and we'll tell you about some of the events happening in just a few minutes. Jordan?
As we head into your Thanksgiving, we're talking about much cooler air across the Tennessee Valley. That cooler air already beginning to develop. We'll talk about it in great detail here in just a couple of minutes.
Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and if you're looking for something to do or a place to eat, we have a list of restaurants and events happening in honor of Turkey Day. Firstly, Chuck's Fish at Clift Farm is opening their doors tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. to offer a free community meal. No reservations or donations are required. However, if you do choose to donate, contributions will go to Madison Visionary Partners. It's your chance to celebrate Thanksgiving while camping. Colbert County is offering a Thanksgiving Day dinner at Seven Springs Lodge. The dinner starts at noon. If you plan to camp, you're asked to contact the Seven Springs Lodge to make a reservation. And finally, the Colbert County Sheriff's Office invites you to come together for the annual Community Thanksgiving Day event at the Tuscumbia Roundhouse. The free meal is from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and offers a chance to gather for fellowship and reflection during Thanksgiving. And for more events happening tomorrow, head on over to our website, fox54.com. As turkey time approaches, businesses are shaping their holiday hours for any last-minute needs. On the off chance you forgot to buy the stuffing or cranberry sauce for this year's Thanksgiving meal, there are several stores you can stop by. Whole Foods and Food City will be operating with modified hours. Kroger's will close at 4 p.m. Stores that will be closed entirely on Thanksgiving include Aldi, Publix, Costco, Target, Walmart, Sam's Club, and Trader Joe's. Starting today, the Alabama Department of Transportation is getting rid of temporary lane closures on state interstates because of Thanksgiving. ALDOT says this is expected to lower congestion and improve safety with more people traveling. The suspension goes through at Sunday at 11:59 p.m.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
All right, let's take a look outside the Fox 54 studios. This is overlooking Memorial Parkway in Huntsville earlier this afternoon. As you can see, not a cloud to be seen. Jordan.
Yes.
I don't know.
What a nice change of pace.
Great change of pace right there. I don't know if you knew Thanksgiving's tomorrow.
I was unaware.
You were unaware? Okay,
yes,
just making sure everyone was aware Thanksgiving's tomorrow.
I should probably go buy a turkey.
I was about to say, well, I wanted to go back because we said something about last minute shopping.
Yes.
I actually did my shopping today. I went to Publix today. It was good. It was calm. Publix was very calm. Just had to go in, get a few desserts, and very easy. Good prices too.
They do say shopping is a pleasure at Publix, so and apparently that applies to the day before Thanksgiving. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I am really quite proud
thank you,
of
Jordan.
Anybody that is willing to go to a grocery store the day before Thanksgiving.
It took a lot of courage and a lot of procrastination, but I did get it done. I got my Thanksgiving shopping done, Jordan.
You know what I think would be fun?
What would be fun?
If we went to Walmart after this newscast.
That'd be great. That would be a good trip.
It would be something. I don't know if it would be good, but it would definitely be something. What a change of pace 24 hours makes across North Alabama, Southern, Middle Tennessee. This time yesterday, we were talking about the back end of the rain across the Tennessee Valley. Today, we had plenty of blue sky, no rain. Radar continues to look nice and quiet this evening, and it's going to stay that way for the next couple of days. Good news. We're going to be dry both Thanksgiving and Black Friday, but rain does begin to build into the Tennessee Valley at some point Saturday. Models are having a really difficult time with that, but at some point Saturday, rain is going to develop across the Tennessee Valley, and it's going to stick with us through at least a good chunk of the day on Sunday. Other opportunities for rain in the forecast as we head into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So let's attempt to play this all out with Futurecast. Here we are, 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, still talking about a mostly clear sky. But then the cloud cover begins to slowly push its way into the Tennessee Valley, and look what Futurecast attempts to do. It attempts to bring in a little bit of rain to the Tennessee Valley. I think that the rain is a bit ahead of schedule, according to this model run, trying to bring it in through the later part of the morning. I don't really think we're going to begin to talk about any rain across the Tennessee Valley until we get to the middle and later part of the afternoon, and then through the early part of the evening. But you probably don't care about North Alabama, Southern, Middle Tennessee. You might be here, yes, but you're much more concerned with what's going on down in Auburn on Saturday for the Iron Bowl. We're not going to be talking about any rain. Game starts at 6:30. Here we are, 7:30 in the evening. Definite increase in the amount of cloud cover in Auburn, but otherwise, we're not really talking about any rain. We're going to continue to talk about the chance for a little bit of rain as we head into Saturday evening through the early part of the overnight across the Tennessee Valley. But again, down in Auburn, it's going to be smooth sailing. Now, if you are going to be driving home Saturday night early into Sunday morning, it's going to take you a couple of hours. You're probably going to wait in traffic. You're going to run into some rain across the Tennessee Valley through the earliest hours of Sunday morning. Still talking about some rain. That rain's going to stick with us in some capacity, at least through the first half of the afternoon. Check out these current temperatures across the Tennessee Valley. We're a good 10 to 12 degrees below where we were just this time 24 hours ago, and we're going to continue to see those numbers slide as we head into the overnight. I've got a low right around 33 degrees. Thanksgiving, 34 at 7 o'clock in the morning. Likely starting the day with a little bit of cloud cover. Clouds are going to increase actually as we head into the overnight, and those will stick with us through about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, but then that cloud cover is going to begin to lift on out of here and we'll get plenty of sunshine. But take this in mind, into consideration. If you're going to be putting your turkey on the smoker tomorrow morning, I'll be doing that. Grab a sweatshirt, you're going to need it. 45 at 11, you're going to want to keep that sweatshirt handy all afternoon. You're going to wear your finest sweatshirt for Thanksgiving dinner because temperatures are only going to climb into the upper 40s tomorrow afternoon. Got a high right around 49 degrees. And from there, we do a really good job at cooling off Thursday night early into Friday morning. It is just simply going to be cold. So this is something else you're going to want to take into consideration. If you're going to be doing some early morning Black Friday shopping and you plan to wait outside in line, yeah, bundle up. You're going to want to. 45 degrees as we head into the afternoon on Black Friday. Plenty of sunshine. The bigger item of note here, not the below average temperatures, but I really do think it is going to be the incredibly cold morning. And then 54 degrees for the Iron Bowl. At least it's going to be 54 in the afternoon. We'll begin to see temperatures slide off as we head into the evening. So grab some sort of a coat if you're going to be going down to Auburn this Saturday. You're going to need it. Have a good look at the next 7 days. There's your 48 and 45 for Thursday, Friday, 51 on Saturday, 50 degrees on Sunday, staying below average through the entirety of the forecast period, as a matter of fact. 47, 46 Monday, Tuesday, and then 50 degrees by the time we get to next Wednesday.
As you prepare for your Thanksgiving meals, plenty of pests are also preparing to invite themselves to dinner. Arrow exterminators shared some tips about what you can do to protect yourself from pests. Remember to clean up spills immediately and store holiday goodies in airtight containers. Before cooking, inspect all food for potential infestations and check expiration dates. Also, make sure to store decorations in airtight containers and inspect them outdoors before bringing inside. If you have questions, contact a pest professional. Fox 54 is proud to sponsor Toys for Tots, and here's how you can help bring smiles to kids across the Tennessee Valley. The organization needs warehouse volunteers to sort and organize toys during the final push before distribution. Donations are also urgently needed for children of all ages. Toys must be dropped off by December 13th. For a full list of drop-off locations and volunteer information, you can visit fox54.com.
The Iron Bowl is just 3 days away, and a very key member of the Alabama staff will experience it for the very first time. We'll hear from Ryan Grubb next in sports.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
You never forget your first Iron Bowl. Good evening and welcome into sports. I remember mine clear as day. It was just 3 seasons ago, 2022 in Tuscaloosa. Alabama dominated, the crowd went crazy, and even though neither team was in playoff contention, I could just tell how much winning the game would mean to each fan base. Fast forward to this season, and Alabama offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb will experience his first Iron Bowl. The OC is from Iowa and has never coached south of the Mason-Dixon line. Grubb has led the offense to an average of 33.8 points per game, good enough for top 25 in the country and 6th in the SEC. Grubb clearly thankful during this Thanksgiving week to get to participate in this decades-old rivalry.
Iron Bowl is everything. You got to win. And there's, end of the season, rivalry week, you're just thankful to be at a place that has something that means so much to the state and, to the program. So certainly with our players and the people around the program, nobody's taking it for granted. And just excited to be part of it, and get in the thick of it with the guys so they know what it's all about.
The 90th Iron Bowl between Alabama and Auburn, slated for 6:30 down at Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn. The Tide currently on a 5-game winning streak in the series. Make sure to keep it locked to Fox 54 this week as we continue to preview the game. Our Iron Bowl special airs tomorrow night. And that'll do it for sports. We'll continue to talk Iron Bowl tonight at 9 and 10. Let's send it back to the desk.
Coming up on Fox 54 News at 9, 2 National Guard soldiers shot near the White House. Well, the latest updates from Washington. It was a banquet for those in need. How one local nonprofit helped bring the community together with those traditional Thanksgiving fixins. And the University of North Alabama marching band getting ready for their debut in the Big Apple. Well, the sights and sounds tonight on Fox 54 News at 9. And it was a daring rescue Sunday as authorities rescued a dog after it fell into a hole in Doolittle, Missouri. The dog, named Popcorn, was using the bathroom when she spotted a raccoon and took off. The animals ended up slipping into a hole that was roughly 12 to 15 feet deep. Fire officials say Popcorn was stuck for nearly 7 hours before she was rescued, but other than a couple of scrapes and war wounds from battling the raccoon, the pup is expected to be okay.
That's a sweet story.
Shout out to Popcorn. Thankful that Popcorn is okay and everybody's all good, but that's scary. 12 to 15 feet.
I mean, that is a what? I feel like why was the hole there?
I don't know.
Again, these are things. There are things.
There's things that we need to know, right?
Yes.
I feel like we just take a lot of stuff out of context. We need to look more into this stuff. I have no idea why the hole was there, but obviously the hole was there.
Yes, and
it was very sad. Popcorn went into the hole, but now they're out, so it's okay.
And the raccoon went into the hole as well.
Yeah, the raccoon.
And so I feel like we need to know what happened.